Let me say this clearly. You are not blocked. You're not doing it wrong. And nothing is missing. You are interrupting your own power, over and over without realizing it. And once you see how, you won't be able to unsee it. Opening. Sha u kijga a touch and das catch agay. 010 to 130. Most people believe manifestation fails because they don't believe enough. They don't visualize correctly. They're not disciplined. They're not spiritual enough. That's comforting because it suggests the solution is more effort. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't lose power because you lack belief. You lose power because you keep checking reality. And every time you check, you collapse the state you just entered. Manifestation doesn't fail. It gets interrupted by doubt, interrupted by urgency, interrupted by the habit of asking, is it working yet? This video is not about how to manifest more. It's about why stopping interruption changes everything. Let's talk about something subtle. You enter a new state. You feel calm, centered, certain. For a moment, you are no longer chasing. And then, you check. You check your phone. You check your bank account. You check someone's behavior. You check the outside world. Just a quick look. And in that moment, without noticing, you leave the state. Because checking is not neutral. Checking carries a message. I am not sure yet. And reality responds instantly to that message, not by punishment, by reflection. Most people think manifestation fails over weeks or months. It doesn't. It collapses in seconds. Not because of negativity, but because of interruption. You cannot stabilize a new identity while constantly asking the old world to confirm it. The mind checks because it's uncomfortable with silence. Silence feels like loss of control. When there is no feedback, the ego panics because the ego was built to survive in reaction. So it asks, am I safe? Is this real? Did it work? Should I do more? But consciousness doesn't respond to questions. It responds to states. And the state of checking is the state of doubt. Not loud doubt, quiet doubt. The kind that sounds reasonable. The kind that says, I'm just being realistic. But realism is simply loyalty to the old identity. And the old identity cannot give birth to a new life. Most people think they are waiting. They're not. They're oscillating. Waiting is passive. Oscillation is unstable. You move into certainty, then back into doubt, then into hope, then into frustration. And reality mirrors the instability. Remaining is different. Remaining means nothing happens, and you don't move. No sign appears, and you don't adjust. No confirmation arrives, and you stay. This feels unnatural at first, because remaining has no drama, no emotional spikes, no urgency, no story, just grounded presence. And presence is invisible to the ego, but irresistible to reality. Here's why most people abandon stillness. Stillness feels like nothing, and the ego interprets nothing as failure. In effort-based identity, movement equals safety. Doing equals progress. Thinking equals control. So when you stop moving internally, the ego panics. It says, you're wasting time. You should do something. You're falling behind. But stillness is not absence. It is completion. It is the state where nothing is missing. And when nothing is missing, reality has no resistance to fill the space. Stillness is not waiting for life. Stillness is letting life catch up to you. Power is not lost in dramatic moments. It's not lost when something big goes wrong. Power is lost quietly, in micro-reactions. A sigh you don't notice, a thought you let slide, a subtle tightening in the chest, a silent disappointment you don't name. No emotional explosion, no visible breakdown. just enough movement to pull you slightly off center. And that's all it takes. You don't fall out of alignment, you drift. And most people don't realize they drift until they look back and wonder why the state collapsed. You don't need to fix these reactions. Fixing is another reaction. You don't need to suppress them. You don't need to analyze them. You need to notice, because awareness stabilizes without force. The moment you catch yourself and think, "Oh, I just checked again. Oh, I just tightened. Oh, I just adjusted inwardly," and you return, without judgment, without commentary, without correcting, you reclaim authority, not through effort, through presence. Power is not force. It is the consistency of being that no longer leaves itself. Here is the reversal that most people never integrate. You don't respond to reality. Reality responds to you, but only when you stop interrupting it. Most people keep interrupting reality with inner movement. They see something and immediately adjust themselves. They hear silence and immediately fill it with thought. They feel uncertainty and immediately try to manage it. Every adjustment is an interruption, and interruption delays movement. When you stop adjusting your inner state based on appearances, appearances lose authority. They no longer dictate. They no longer provoke. They no longer command reaction. They reorganize. Not because you demanded change, not because you visualized harder, but because you stopped handing them power. You don't need stronger belief. You need stability. Stay when nothing happens. Stay when silence stretches. Stay when the mind asks, "Shouldn't something be changing by now?" Because the moment you stop interrupting, movement begins, quietly, naturally, inevitably. Effort is loud. It announces itself. It explains itself. It justifies itself. Power is quiet. Effort tries to convince reality. Power doesn't speak. Effort argues internally. Power assumes. Effort hopes. Power remains. This is why people who appear to do nothing often experience more. Not because they are lucky, not because they are special, but because they are uninterrupted. They don't keep leaving the state. They don't keep checking the mirror. They don't keep renegotiating with life. They don't ask, "Is this working yet?" They simply are. And being does not require maintenance. Being does not require reassurance. Being is enough. Reality responds to coherence, not effort. So here is the only practice, and it's not something you do. When you feel the urge to check, pause. When you feel the urge to react, pause. When you feel the urge to adjust your state to match appearances, pause and return to the body, to breath, to gravity, to stillness. Say nothing. Decide nothing. Fix nothing. Remain, not tense, not rigid, just present. Because you were never meant to chase reality. You are meant to stand as the place reality moves from. Let this settle, not as a concept, not as a belief, but as a physical knowing. Feel the weight of your body, the steadiness of your breath, the absence of urgency. I am here. I am steady. I am not interrupting myself anymore. This is not affirmation. This is alignment. And alignment does not require effort. If this landed, comment. I remain. Not to prove anything. Not to convince anyone. But to mark the moment you stopped stepping out of your own power. And if you're ready to go deeper, beyond techniques, beyond manifestation, beyond effort, subscribe to the second channel. We don't explain there. We don't chase there. We remain. Because reality moves when you stop interrupting it.